Hi, my name is Judy Bieber, and I am the chair of the History Department. And I'm making this recording to welcome you to the upcoming academic year, which will be highly unusual for obvious reasons. What I'd first like to do is to share some happy news. We have two new faculty members. They are Dr. Holly Geis and Dr. Catherine Massoff. Dr. Geis is a specialist in Indigenous history, and Dr. Massoff is a specialist in the U.S. West. Both focus on the history of women, gender, and sexuality, and their courses for the fall look to be highly interesting. So do check them out if you haven't had a chance already. There is room in both of them if you would care to enroll. The second thing I would like to do is to reflect a little bit upon the pandemic as a historian, as a history teacher, and also as a human being. And as a historian, obviously, this is not the first pandemic to traverse the globe, but we haven't seen an event of this magnitude for a little over a century. And living through COVID-19 has certainly made me think about the history of disease in a new light. And when I next teach that history as it pertains to colonial Latin America, for example, it will no doubt resonate both for myself and my students in very different ways than it has in the past. But also I have reflected ever more acutely about the history of structural inequalities in this country that has led to disproportionate outcomes for Indigenous nations, for example, for people of color more broadly, for people of low income. In June, we issued a faculty statement on systemic racism and injustice. And to follow up on this statement, we have formed a standing committee that is dedicated to the promotion of best practices within the department, and that work will be ongoing this year, and you can learn more about it on our website. Now, human beings are inherently social, which is why the restrictions under which we are currently living are so very difficult. As historians connect human relationships and their outcomes from the past to the present, the study of history can be particularly helpful to place the pandemic into context. And we have a number of courses in the fall, by no means exhaustive, that may help our understanding of the present moment. So I would like to draw your attention to just a few of them. For example, Luis Campos is teaching a course about disaster and the history of science, and Shatam Ray is offering a course in global environmentalism. And both of these courses will enable you to make broader connections between history, science, and the environment. If you'd like to reflect upon how humanity has dealt with the idea of catastrophe, I invite you to consider Mike Ryan's course on medieval and modern apocalypse. And for those of you that would like to delve a little bit deeper into the history of race relations in the United States, we have Freedom, Equality, and Empire, offered by David Pryor, and the long civil rights movement taught by Bob Jefferson. And it should not surprise any of us that Shannon Witheycomb's course on the history of modern medicine is fully enrolled. Our faculty has worked really diligently over the summer to offer you the best possible learning experience this fall, be it face-to-face, hybrid, or remote. We're eager to welcome you to class, and I encourage you to reach out to the department or individual faculty members with questions or concerns, or merely just to get to know us a little bit better. I'd like to conclude by thanking all of you for your ongoing commitment to the tedious, unnatural, thankless work of social distancing and foregoing events with friends and family. If you're incoming freshmen, you no doubt lost out on key moments like prom, graduation, and other important events that celebrate the successful conclusion to high school. I think it's a real testament to the people of New Mexico that enough people have observed enough of the time the rules pertaining to limiting group size, social distancing, wearing masks in public, observing good hand hygiene, that has enabled the state to keep this virus in check. And while we still have a ways to go, I am really encouraged at how well our state has done, especially in comparison with neighboring Western states. We have done a lot with very little. We are a poor state. I feel really proud to be a New Mexican, and I'm especially grateful to our political leadership for supporting best practices during this pandemic. So please keep it up, because I know we'd all like to be back in the classroom face to face, And the only way to make that happen, barring a vaccine, is to reduce transmission rates enough so that we can do that safely and sustainably. So with that, I'll close. Thanks so much. Be well, stay safe. I look forward to connecting to you soon. Thank you very much.